This is how to build wealth and retire early. So if you haven't done so, make sure to go like, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Let's jump right into the video. Step number one is to find what you truly love to do. To find truly exactly what you love to do, you have to try different things. If you think that you're just going to go to high school, go to university, study a degree, and get a job within it, there's a very, very low chance that you are going to love exactly what you have set out to do. The world is a big place out there, and what is even offered across universities and tertiary education is so narrow. And even going to university, there's so much time. Some people don't even go to university, and with all that time that you have in your youth, go and try different things. If you're not young, you're not too late either. If you're doing something that you don't like, well, that's already something that you can knock off the list. And so you do need to go out and try different things. And if you think that trying different things is risky for you, guess what? Staying in something that you don't like doing is even riskier, because that's going to demotivate you and it's going to reduce your earning capacity in your financial life. And especially if you are young, you have to build more and more experience so that when the right opportunity comes, you can strike it hard. Just understand that money is a byproduct of what you truly love. So if you genuinely want money in your life, just understand that before money comes, what you truly love to do. And one of the best things that you can actually find out what you love to do from my own personal experience is to go through your internet history. I know some of you are joking out there, and some of the things you watch online all the time isn't particularly the best thing in the world. But other than those crazy things, look at what you look at the most. And the thing is, platforms like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, they actually know what you like the most. They flash different things in front of your eyes, and whatever you spend the most time looking at is probably what you like. So sometimes these platforms know what you like more than what you know what you like. What you should definitely do is look through your feeds, look through your internet history, check out what kind of things you're spending the most amount of time looking at, and try to lean into that. If you like watching soccer videos, if you like watching baking videos, or if you like to spend a lot of time reading articles about, I don't know, something like beekeeping, those are your passion areas. If you think there's risk of jumping into it because you're going to risk losing what you already have, like a job or a particular university degree that you're going for, guess what? Not doing it is also a risk. Everything in life is a risk, so just accept that and just lean into your passion, so that could lead into more satisfaction of what you're actually doing, as well as the financial reward that will follow. Number two is to invest in yourself. This kind of ties in with the experience and the trying of different things that I mentioned in the first point. But what you're trying to focus on here is you're trying to become a better version of yourself. Yes, you can go learn a skill or you can read books, but best of all, I find that meeting people is one of the best ways to invest in yourself, because meeting people in itself is a skill that you will inevitably need to learn. We live in a world where there's 8 billion people living together with us. So you need to understand that the life that you live isn't just simply about you. You'll have to meet somebody, you'll have to meet people, you'll have to have friends, you'll have to do things together with other people. 2 is always better than 1. If you think meeting people is very daunting, well, that's a skill that you will need to develop of it in itself. That person in your life who's so good at meeting people, well, guess what? They weren't always good at meeting people. They still get a little bit of a butterfly before they approach somebody new. This is a skill that anybody in this world needs to work on. Nobody's born as natural socializing butterflies. So what I suggest you to do is go through a simple exercise of receiving 5 no's in a particular day, and try to do that across 14 days. I actually know of somebody who had tried this, and what they did was they had their 4 no's in a day. They wanted to get that final no, and it was almost towards the end of the day. So what they decided to do was they decided to go downstairs in their apartment where there was a cafe. They ordered a coffee, and when it came to paying for the coffee, they simply asked, "Can I have it for free?" The owner of the coffee shop said, "Hey, sure, why not? You can have it for free." Well, the moral of the story is that receiving a no isn't really a big deal, but when you're going out there and you're barking up every tree, you're trying things, and you're giving things a go, people can actually be more supportive to you than you think. This exercise is going to be hard, but it is one that is very effective, and I think you'll become a changed person after you go through this exercise. Number 3, I like to call this the 4% rule. They say if you want to retire and you want to retire wealthy and young, you need to withdraw 4% of your portfolio. And if that was $1 million, you will be withdrawing $40,000 every year so that you can live off of that passively. Now, I don't know how good a life looks like spending $40,000 a year. Maybe it looks good to you, maybe it doesn't look good to you, but let's use that as a standard. That means that you need to have $1 million invested. You need to get there as soon as possible because of the different varying economic factors and COVID and Fed interest rate policies and whatnot. They reckon that that number, 4%, has now come down to 2.7%. You need to, whatever you want to spend in a year, that needs to be 2.7% of how much you have invested. Now that, if you want to have $40,000 a year, have now increased the invested amount up to about 1.5 million, let's call it. And so to get to that amount, you need to be very realistic. And if you do some of the first and the second points really well, that isn't particularly that hard to achieve. But you do need to focus on a particular numeric goal in life in order for you to be able to understand where you are heading with your financial goals. And before we get onto the fourth point, this video today is sponsored by Webull. If you want to get to that $1.5 million investment, the best way to start is to start getting exposure into financial assets. Go check out the link in the description below and get yourself a free stock worth up to $150 on us, various equities, commodities, and even crypto all across the world. Number 4, what you need to do is focus on cash flow. Become really mathematical. Understand where the money goes in, understand where the money goes out. Understand how much is going to come in and how much is going to go out as well. A lot of people jump into stuff and they will just go ahead and do it without actually any consideration of where the money is going to come from and how much the amounts are actually going to be. And of course, when you start out, you're not going to be that laser focused with the amounts that you might use to calculate, and therefore it can blow out your profits and losses out of complete whack. But that's when you lean into your connections and your network around you so that they can become a second brain's trust to look over your numbers as well. This is especially important if you're considering business or especially in real estate. Understand what your rental is going to be, and understand what your costs and your taxes are going to be, and that is a great exercise of it in itself. And you can do this even if you can't afford to buy the asset. You can do this when you're in high school, when you're young. You can still understand how money flow works so that you can then aim for a particular investment amount. And what is really wonderful about this exercise is that you can remain rational in your investment approaches. You're not going to buy a house because you're emotional about how it looks or whether it looks pretty, whether it's got good colors, you're not looking at those things. But what you will be looking at is how much money is it actually making, how much wealth is it actually bringing, and how much freedom will you have because of this particular investment. And last but not least is taking action. Whether it is learning or actually starting a business or actually investing your money, you have to take action. Obviously take action within your means, but be consistent with your action. Recently, a very young fella messaged me from the other side of the world saying that, hey, I'd like to help you with your business, and in return, I'd like to receive some mentorship. Now, he probably watched some video online like Gary Vee say, hey, go and message all these influencers and just have a quick chat, see what they say, and just help them out and just ask for some mentorship back. Now, he could have watched that, done absolutely nothing about it. He could have just heard that and just let it pass through the other year, but he actually took a step of action to actually message me, reaching out. Now, this is powerful, guys. Understand that taking action is respectful. I respect people that actually take action. Get in front of a camera, make a video, go and meet somebody that you've never met before, go and start a business that you never thought you would have ever done before, go and read a book that you wouldn't have picked up before. These actions over time will build up your capacity and your propensity for success, and this is a focus that you want to have. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you next time. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Peace.